Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So today I am reviewing Convergence Action Comics number 2. My last video I reviewed Convergence Action Comics number 1. So definitely check out that review if you haven't seen it yet. I'll put a link to it in the description box. It was a pretty great issue, I think. And I usually always put links in the description boxes on my videos, and I'll also include a playlist of these Convergence reviews I've been doing. So today we're checking out part 2. I like this series quite a bit. Convergence gets a lot of negative comments. I think just the New 52 in general did, but Convergence in particular, a lot of people seem to not like the story. But I think the tie-ins, well, I don't mind the main story either, but I think the tie-ins in particular are good. So what we see on the cover definitely happens in the comics. So the Wonder Woman from Red Sun universe fights Earth 2 Powergirl. If you didn't see or read the last issue, that's the gimmick. It's Earth 2 against Red Sun. So Power Girl's gotten her powers back because when they were under the dome, they didn't have their powers. So she regains her powers, and she's going to fly over to the other city because they always have to. That's essentially the deal, is the two cities are pitted against each other, and one wins and the other is destroyed. So the folks who worked on this, we have Justin Gray as the writer, Claude St. Aubin did the pencils, and I think he did a really good job. I like his work throughout. And let's see who else. We have Sean Parsons on the inks, Laverne Kinderski and Hi-Fi did the colors, Steve Wands did the lettering, and this was an Amanda Connor cover. So both of these were by her. She did the covers. I thought very good covers. Actually, exceptionally good. This is like pretty much everything you want in a cover. It's really dynamic. It's showing something that happens in the issue. It's got two, very prominent characters from the issue. They look great. They're drawn great. It's centered great. The colors and everything. It's just perfect. So anyways, back to the issue. Power Girl's got her powers, and she's flying over to Moscow. I mean, it's the Red Sun, so it's literally Moscow. But they have some defenses, so they're shooting missiles at her. She gets hit, and again, like I was saying, the art looks really good. Even, her hair is all disheveled. She still looks, looks cool. Looks like a superhero. So she takes off again. Some missiles aren't going to stop her. So it turns out it was Wonder Woman and her invisible jet. We saw in the last issue Lex was working on her invisible jet. So, yeah, she was the one shooting the missiles. Power Girl figures that out and flies. And is going to pull her wing off. She says, "I hope you're wearing a seatbelt." So, yeah, that's what happens. She rips the wing off. And the jet's going to go down. And she sees it's going to crash into all these troops that are down here. So Power Girl, being a hero, on the next page she says, "Okay, that wasn't my best idea. I can't let those troops die." So even though she's supposed to be fighting them, she doesn't want to kill people. And the jet's still going down. And this part's cool too, because Wonder Woman's like, "I was born for combat. I was stupid to think I needed a man-made machine." Like, yeah, she probably would be better without the plane. But to make it, I don't know, this part was kind of strange, but Stalin's guys actually shoot down the jet. I think it's presumably by mistake because they're shooting at Power Girl, but that isn't really made clear. And Wonder Woman says, too, "Stalin's troops are shooting at me?" So, I don't know, it was weird. There is a couple inconsistencies in this comic which do take away from it. The other one we'll get to a little later. So anyways, she bails out, and it's pretty cool because, she's floating down to Earth, and I guess falling, but she would be okay. She's Wonder Woman. But then she gets hit by Power Girl, and they smash right into the building. And Power Girl's like, "You're Wonder Woman?" "Yes." She's got her arm cocked back. And then Oh, Wonder Woman kicks her. So it's she goes flying through. This is a pretty dynamic fight. The power scaling on these two is pretty good, pretty relatively equal. So Lex is up to his own devices, and Stalin's not having it anymore. He breaks in and he's got all his troops. He says, yeah. And Stalin says, shoot him, shoot both of them. And Lex is like, I'd rethink your command, Stalin. So it turns out he has all these robots he's built. So the robots and the troops fight, and the troops all get killed, and Lex takes Stalin prisoner. So then Lex is in command, or basically took over Moscow. It looks really cool here. More Wonder Woman and Powergirl fighting. The Soviets are shooting at Powergirl. She says, "Stay out of this, comrades," and blows up the tank. And since she's a hero, you can see the guys like bailing out and running away. It's like, okay. You can say she didn't kill anybody, but presumably she would have. But then, yeah, she took her attention off of Wonder Woman and got a magic lasso around the neck. So Stalin and Lex are going to go to a secret bunker there under the Kremlin. They don't say why yet. This part's really hardcore. So Wonder Woman's swinging Powergirl around with her lasso by the neck. Really bad. Swings her into all this stuff. And she takes a little break and says, "You were a worthy opponent." And off panel you see, "I don't know who you are." Boom! Let's see, "But you better pray my cousin is alive." So this part was pretty surprising. Superman here, Earth 2 Superman, just hits her, knocks her back, and you see she's bleeding. And Wonder Woman says, "That was a huge mistake." So yeah, they are talking, and they're like, "You're Superman? You're Wonder Woman?" Even though they're from parallel universes, they're kind of like, what? So they end up just talking right there. And then there's this long preview right in the middle. They tended to do this, though. It's actually not that bad of a thing. So yeah, this is New 52 Starfire. I actually liked her outfit during this run. So this is a little part with Jim Lee and Dan Didio talking and basically just telling us about the New 52 DC. There's a few pages of it. And like, it sucks too because some stuff like Midnighter, the first issue of the solo series, like Midnighter was just starting up. But a lot of these don't even go very far past this point because this comic's from 2015, next year's Rebirth, so they've got like all this preview material for stuff that doesn't really get too developed. And like they had the checklist here for all the things you could get. So like you could see all kinds of things. Bizarro #1, Batmite #1, Hellblazer was at #1, Starfire, Red Hood and Arsenal, Section 8, Lost Army. All of these are only at issue #1, and these get canceled here real quick. I mean, New 52 ended. Look, Black Canary, Dr. Fate. I know some of these only got up to like issue 7. Like I remember Dr. Fate ended around 6 or 7. What else? Even Deathstroke's only at #7. So I don't know. New 52 is a crazy era. But anyways, so we're back to the actual story after all those pages, and yeah, Power Girl is still fighting, and Superman's like, "Kara, wait," because they're talking, and he has to pull them apart. It's kind of cool, I guess. And like, he's got the mark around her neck. But anyways, they basically decide that they should work together. And then there's a rumbling, because that always happens in this. Like, one of the cities is going to be destroyed. So Lex is going to get all the missiles that the Soviets have up and running. And, oh yeah, this part's interesting, too, because Lois asks him to not do it, because Lex was going to nuke Metropolis, and she says not to. And if you missed in the last issue, of course, this is an alternate Lois, so her and Lex are together, and he said he's doing everything for her, and she says, "Well, if you are, then don't do this." And then he looks like he's going to do it anyway because he starts to reach for the uh, the button to push it. But then the wall smashes open. Wonder Woman, Superman, Powergirl show up. They all confront him. He sets the robots on him. They just tear him apart, of course, very easily. And Stalin's like, I want him executed immediately. And Wonder Woman says, you're no longer in charge, Joseph. So she's going to do her own thing now. And the art's pretty cool. So these guys, Power Girl and Superman fly back to Metropolis and leave Moscow behind. Superman's talking about seeing all the other cities. I don't know, it's just kind of a nice little ending to the issue. And Superman, Power Girl fly off. Some good art there at the end. And they fly out. So that's how the issue ends. One thing that was kind of weird about it, and you may have probably thought of this too, where was Red Sun Superman? So he was in issue 1, and I went back and I reread this before I did this review, and he's in it. You see him in here somewhere. He's right here. You see him multiple times, but he doesn't ever say, like, okay, I'm leaving and not coming back. So, yeah, Red Sun Superman wasn't in this at all, which was strange, because it is Earth 2 Metropolis versus Red Sun Moscow. So, I don't know. That was the one thing I thought was kind of a drawback. There was one other kind of a complaint, and this page is a good example of that. A lot of the issue didn't have many panels per page. So this page, for instance, has 4 panels. Let's see. You can see this one's not really, this isn't too bad. And overall, I really liked the art and the story, so it's not a big complaint, but there were a lot of pages like this where it was just, very little writing on a lot of big panels that took up a lot. But, there were some that weren't too, so. In any case, there wasn't too much I could complain about. I do think it's a little bit of an inconsistency that Red Sun Superman wasn't in this at all, this issue, so that was really strange. Even if there'd just been a line of dialogue to explain why he wasn't there, I would have really appreciated that. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good. There's a little bonus comic at the end, a special sneak peek. So this was for Divergence, which was the event that came after Convergence. And the art on this is actually really good. A little Sinestro story. So overall, I probably give both of these together, probably an 8 out of 10. I thought it was definitely worth reading. I'd like to know down in the comments what you guys thought about these 2 issues. And that's all for now. So that's, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Be sure and subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell for notifications. A lot of times, people don't know when I put up videos right away, so notifications will help out with that a lot. So, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and as always, thank you for being a part of DC Fans United.